Hi, my name is Colin SkipperWing Bird, and welcome to a special subset of SkipperWing Draws a Thing, process videos for the Crimson Fly animated comic strip. Today's strip, issue 3, strip number 38. Yes, number 38. It's way too early to be losing track of which one I'm working on. But yeah. Another day, another week, another strip, and not minimal animation. And I don't know if you guys are feeling the fatigue as much as I am. Not fatigue, but sort of the tension buildup. But admittedly, I think part of the reason why I'm going to be a little defensive in this video is because, like you, I like that my strips are animated. And I miss that. But there is a narrative ebb and flow. There is a time and place for everything. And you have to obey that timing and pacing, otherwise you end up with just a lot of noise and most of it empty and meaningless. There has to be lows for the highs to mean anything. For you to really appreciate how loud something is, you have to understand how quiet it was just the moment before and the moment afterwards. And that's hopefully what I'm building towards. Well, that's what is explicitly what I'm building towards, but I'm hoping that that's how it gets interpreted as well. So yeah, this is part of that tension period. They're both the fly and the store owner are feeling kind of anxious. They know that the fight is coming, and they're gearing themselves up for it. It's like right before a shootout where both gunfighters have their hands on their fingers. Hands on their fingers. I should really think about what I'm saying before I say it. Have their hands inches away from their guns. And that's what the last two panels are actually trying to homage. And this is kind of where understanding your references come in. Admittedly, I am not old enough to have appreciated the old westerns, particularly Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy. I know that as a general reference point, but I will admit I've never seen the movies, and that's something I do need to rectify. You can't really reference something without understanding how and why you're referencing it, and I think that's a sin that I have committed in this particular strip and video. Going back to the ebb and flow of narrative in a story, you need different your audience to feel different emotions at different points. And good story will predict when and how audiences feel those emotions, and how that affects the characters, and how it affects your readers, your audience, your game players, whoever is consuming your media. If everything is all loud, then they have no reference point for what's not supposed to be extraordinary. A good example is action movies' tendency to put heroes in car crashes that they walk away from. And while yes, it makes them seem more incredible than they actually are, it then makes you wonder, well, they're never in any danger. They walked away from a car crash. So this guy punching them in the face is not really going to worry them. However, if you do, like, say, Jackie Chan, where he's in danger, he's constantly getting hurt, he's constantly getting battered, suddenly when he's in that final boss fight, then you know, oh no, there is a possibility that he could lose. It's why highs and lows are so important. But that's more on that in a later video. Right now, I want to focus on my use of puppet animation. So in an earlier video, I mentioned that puppet animation versus traditional animation, or digital animation, is highly situational. In this case, I decided to turn to puppets because there's only a few moving parts. It's just the arm, it's just the hand, and it's just the fingers on the hand, and as you can see, the fingers can easily be replicated. Compared to having to draw each individual frame, which was an option, it just made more sense to use the puppets to simulate the effect that I was going for, rather than trying to imitate myself over the course of 8 frames-ish. It made for a more consistent experience. So in this instance, it made sense to use puppets, especially since the fingers reuse the same elements. Work smart, not just hard. And that's it for today's video. If you want to see this strip in its true format, please click the links in the annotations and cards. If you're new, please like and subscribe for more content. This is Colin SkipperWing Bird signing out. I'll catch you peeps later.